From the shores of Waikiki, welcome to Generation Viewpoint. That was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Right?
I love it.
Wasn't that awesome? Evan, great job, my man.
Thank you.
I can't believe that you've only had that thing for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and I think it's a toy. Is that a real thing or is it a toy?
I don't know. It's Annika's.
Whatever it is, that was fantastic.
And don't tell her because it's here. She doesn't.
Yeah.
That's right. It's missing. So
Yeah.
Thank you for that, and welcome everybody to Generation Viewpoint, episode number 8. And as you can tell, because there's a strange voice on the mix here with us, we have another guest today. Please welcome Sean Dinkle to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having
the
me.
crowds just went wild.
Yeah, we didn't get a boo, so that's always good.
Fantastic, man. I never
It's
got
always
one
good.
of those.
You got to chalk up the wins where you get them.
You know what? You
Wherever
really
they
do.
come.
Write that down. Maybe
right.
you should mark it on your arm like they did on the planes during the bombings or whatever. Like
Yeah.
check.
There we go.
You know,
There's just another one.
But
I don't have much to put on my arms anymore.
That's
But
right.
nevertheless.
That's true. So I want to thank you for joining us, Sean.
Yeah,
and
thanks
for
for
our
having me.
listeners out there, Sean is married to a beautiful entrepreneurial wife, has 2 beautiful children.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness, they're like Hallmark card children. They're gorgeous.
They take after their mother.
And
You got to have one ugly parent.
You know what? I'm not
Looking right at him.
I won't. Whatever you say. How's that one? I'm not going to say yay or nay on that one.
Yep.
So
He's mine.
And Evan, did you know that Sean is internationally known?
Can you rock the microphone?
Do you know what? I want to high five you right now because you knew that lyric. This is the only one of my kids who knows the songs that I know.
That's
fantastic. So
That's great.
But no, Sean is a manager for an international company. So that means to me that he is internationally known.
Yeah, working on the management side of things. Internationally known. I'm on spreadsheets and process flow diagrams, but
There you go.
I mean, there's no jerseys.
There's no jerseys.
No.
No.
So you don't get the...
No private plane?
No.
Oh. Well, it's a start.
Now, I'm small, so I do fine in economy. So it works, it works for me.
Well, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having
though.
me, guys. This is great.
And we're looking forward to this episode
Yeah.
and stuff. But before we jump in, we might as well just mention that because it happened 2 days ago, the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
So anybody have any comments on the Super Bowl, how it went down? Anything come to mind real quick?
Kind of anticlimactic.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be,
Yeah.
if I were to sum it
I
up.
wanted more from it.
Yeah.
You wanted more.
Yeah.
Evan, what did you expect from the Super Bowl? What did you want?
I expected a game like the Broncos and Patriots.
Okay.
Something that we were sitting and you wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
Like the
on the
Super
edge of
Bowl.
your seat.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Super Bowl this year, I just kind of looked at the screen every so often and was just like, I know it's over.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Very defensively played.
Yes.
Right? You like those high-scoring games where at any second somebody's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I did have one observation that I want to bring up. It's not in regards to this game, but it is in regards to the NFL.
Yep.
All right? And that is that I truly believe that an NFL kicker is very similar to the weatherman.
And why is
Does he
that?
have a raincoat?
He should have. Because the way I see this is there's 365 days in a year.
Yep.
363 of those days, you could care less where the kicker or the weatherman are.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the 2 days that you really need them to
Yep.
perform,
Yep.
you're still unsure if they're going to perform.
That's true.
I agree.
And to our Buffalo Bills fans out there, you know what we're talking about.
But so do the Minnesota Vikings fans this
Well,
year
hey,
and the Patriots
We're not going to
fans
talk
this
about
year.
that,
But yeah, I mean, the kicker is like you're either the man or find a way to get back home on your own.
That's right.
That's right.
That's exactly
The team
right.
plane is
So-
full.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Yep.
So it was a fun game. It's more fun that we were with a lot of people having a good time.
Yeah.
Which really what the game comes down to. You
Yep.
know. So it was rebuilding relationships with your friends and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but why don't we jump into our topic? Last episode, Evan, we said that this episode we're going to be talking about relationships, right?
Yep.
And this is going to be the first show that we're talking about a topic that was submitted by one of our listeners.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is something new for us. So we want to thank our listener for submitting this. I'm going to let people kind of guess who this person is, but I'm going to give 3 names that they go by as clues for those to kind of try to decipher. He is known as Bestafar. He's also known as Farfar, and he's also known as TK.
TK the DJ?
He's not TK the DJ, but he is TK.
Sounds like it could be a DJ name.
I know.
Right?
So if you know who this person is, you can jump on socials or anything and respond, and let's see who can pick it first.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So
Nice.
anyway, so what this person submitted as our idea, Sean, that he wanted us to talk about was, I think, a very important topic.
All right.
And that is that parents should show more affection to their children with hugs and kisses.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree. Yep.
So we all agree that we need, love in our families, right? There's a book that I've been reading recently with my daughter called Love Dates, and in there it says that our relationships with our parents will form us and how we go forward into the future in our relationships.
Okay.
Were we lacking? Were we fulfilled? Whatever it might be. So we know it's important. So we're at different stages of life, which is why I was excited for you to be here today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here too.
So you have 2 children. How old are your children right now?
My oldest, she is 7, or she will be 7 in May, and my youngest, he will be 3 in March.
7 and 3.
7 and 3.
Okay.
Yep.
So at 7 and 3 years old,
Mm-hmm.
do you hug and kiss your children every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, unless I'm not with them.
Okay.
That would be the only exception to the rule.
Do they enjoy it?
Oh, yeah, I would say so.
So they like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. So I'm a little bit older, and my kids are a little bit older than yours, right? Evan is 17, and his sister is 16. She would be the youngest of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was your age and they were your kids' age, I used to hug and kiss them every day, right? We'd wrestle and hug and kiss and everything. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
And then something happened. Ev, please tell me what happened, because I've been waiting for this to find out from you what happened, because I would still hug and kiss you every day. But you're a slippery fella, and you won't let me.
First of all, you still attack us.
It's true.
We'll be doing something, watching TV, making our dinner,
Yes.
and you'll just attack.
Right. Sneak
And
attack.
Annika gets back at you and sneak
Yes.
attacks you.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
But I can remember when I was younger, probably around like 7 or 8 or so. Before that, I would always come in to your guys' room, and I would kiss you on the lips
Yep.
and give you a hug and say goodnight. And then one night, I went in for a kiss for Mom, and I'm like, why am I kissing Mom on the lip right now?
Yeah.
Like, that's just weird.
Yeah.
And then I would give you a kiss on the lips, and that's just weird too.
Yeah.
So then I stopped doing that, and I would just give kisses on the cheek.
Right.
And I was like, wait, that's weird too, because now it's different, and they're expecting something else, and it was just weird.
Yeah.
So then I just gave hugs, and now I give nothing.
So you felt like you were too old for...
And now I give nothing. Shortcomings.
Nothing for you.
disappointment. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So you felt you were getting too old for hugs and kisses and affection.
I don't know if it was too old. It was just weird. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird that I was doing it.
All right. So, Sean,
right.
can you ever envision a time when you would allow your kids, and I'm going to use that word allow specifically, okay?
Sure.
That you would allow them to not let you hug and kiss them,
I would say no,
okay?
because I think it would like really upset me. as,
You.
like, a parent.
Yeah. Who cares what they felt about
That's
it?
right.
Yeah, right?
You're my kids.
Yeah.
Make
That's
me
right.
happy.
Yeah. Like I pay the mortgage here.
That's
You're
right.
gonna play by my rules. As long as you're
Hug
under
and
this
kiss you
house.
whenever
Yeah.
I want.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you couldn't envision that now,
No.
because some parents will say, "Hey, you're going to give me a hug and kiss every night before you go to bed."
Yeah.
And others, like myself, have kind of let them kind of define, I guess, that that relationship. So, do you see yourself more leaning towards the side of, no, you're going to hug and kiss me, I'm your dad, or if they wanted to start backing off, would you let that
Yeah.
happen?
Now, I mean, asking the question, I think I would say no. I would not allow that to happen.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
I mean, we have like a routine.
Yeah.
We read a story before bed.
Yep.
You know, tuck the kids in. So I mean, we actively put them down
Okay.
for bed.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But the thing that kind of piqued my interest with this is when you ask the question, would you let it happen? I sit there and go, no.
Yeah.
But it makes me think, like, I think that this may just happen.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Evan brought up, at least the way that I read it was, or at least, took it was, that it kind of faded out. It went from, hey, I give mom and dad a kiss at night, and then, hey, we went from the mouth to the cheek to the hug to the nothing.
To the nothing.
Yeah. You know, so it's kind of like it like progresses, and I'm sure
Yeah.
over time,
Yeah.
like I'm sure the first time that happened,
Yeah.
Evan wasn't going, okay, this is weird and uncomfortable. I'm going to remove myself from this condition.
Yeah.
And I'm sure mom and dad didn't go, close the door. We gotta have we gotta have a meeting.
Yeah.
Like what happened?
What happened?
What
What's
happened?
going on?
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
You know what? I think I just had an idea.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because the more he thought about touching and then hugging and then kissing on the cheek and then kissing on the lips, a girl, he started taking those things away from us. What do you think? Because it'd be teenage years.
It might be.
You
I
think it
mean,
like sucked their brains out of affection and they were like storing it up for the next
Well,
step in
those
life
are
or
your
something?
awkward years where everything, even if you like just
Yeah.
touch someone on the arm, you're
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
talked
We
about
did.
that, right?
Yeah.
When somebody touches you, are they flirting or are they just touching you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
too confusing. So
yeah, I didn't think about that.
very
Yeah,
confusing.
yeah.
So, all right, good. Well, I don't know. I would tell you, Evan, that I would definitely hug and kiss you more often if you would let me. And you know that, though. That's why you're
I
turning
do.
bright red right now.
or because I'm hot.
Or that would.
It's a little hot in here.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So before we
Yeah.
run off of this, Sean,
Sure.
let me ask you:
Yeah.
Do you have any story of family and affection, or how they show up? Does anything come to mind that you want to share?
There's one story that comes to mind.
Okay.
So at the time, my wife and I were dating, so we went and visited some family up in Vegas. We drove from Albuquerque,
Okay.
and they had to catch an early flight to, I want to say Ireland, if I remember correctly, on one of their wedding anniversaries.
Okay.
So I take Tiffany's aunt and uncle to the airport,
Yeah.
drop them off. I unload their car from luggage. See you guys later. Now Tiffany and I are just dating,
Yeah.
and her aunt plants one on
Oh
me.
no.
And I'm like, and it's like super early in the morning.
Yeah.
And Tiffany, I mean, we were in Vegas, so you're up like all night, you
Yeah.
know. And like I like sped home, and like Tiffany was still asleep. I like woke her up, like shook her,
Yeah.
like yo, get up, get up, get up. And she's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Your aunt just kissed me, like on the mouth,
Yeah.
like right in front of your
Yeah.
uncle."
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? I'm like, I didn't know what, like, it totally caught me off guard. So it's always like a story that I tell people. And like our friend Danny,
Yeah.
he loves the story.
Yeah.
It's like one of his favorite stories. But I was like, I can't even imagine how mortified I looked when this happened.
What'd
You probably
did it.
wobbled back to the car in a haze, like, oh.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
What did
Because
your wife say?
I think she was kind of like, why did you wake me up to tell me this?
She didn't care.
She was well, I guess this is like what her aunt does.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like alarming to her.
Yeah.
Now to this day, I kiss this aunt on the mouth. Like I do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, when you go into that kind of introduction with the aunt,
Yeah.
you might as well go for broke now.
Bar has been set
Yeah.
high. Yes, you got to.
But I mean, that's how they show affection. So
That's
like,
amazing.
so Tiffany was, I think, more along the lines of, yeah, welcome to the family on her end.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not a big deal.
That's amazing.
Like on me, like I don't have that affection at home with like my parents.
right.
So I was like,
mortified. What's going on?
lady,
Yeah.
like,
That is
what is that?
Now we have some friends,
Okay.
right? So outside of family, we have some friends that the wife, whenever I see her, she doesn't say she kisses me on the mouth as well.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange thing because
Yeah.
I got to be honest. So, you know, we're already on this. So let's just talk about this. So you're out somewhere
Yep.
and you run into some friends of yours, husband and wife couple.
Mm-hmm.
You see the gentleman and you're like, "Hey, John, how you doing?" You reach out your hand, you shake his hand. His wife is standing next to him, right? You're friends with him and you know her really well.
Okay.
"Hey, John, how you doing?" You shake his hand. Now you look at his wife and you're like, shaking her hand is awkward, but hugging her might be too much. So instead you stand there and you go, "Hey." Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the, hey,
Right?
kind of like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel bad when I do the hey. You know? Because I'm like, I just gave your husband this great reaction and shook his hand.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see him like, "Hey, by the way." "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh, you're here?
Yeah, you know, and that's not how I feel. It's just I get stuck between what should I do? Hug, kiss, shake hand. I don't know. You know,
I usually just wait and see what they do.
but what if they don't do anything? That's the whole point, I guess. So,
That's true.
you know?
Do you then just stare at each other awkwardly?
Just kinda-
like don't say anything?
Yeah,
Hi.
something like that. I don't know. So I've got this friend. Actually, you know him as well.
Okay.
So we're going to call him David for this conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. David.
My friend.
He's facing a Goliath problem.
My my friend David. I'm 6'2", Sean. Okay. David is about 6'6", maybe. He's a tall guy.
Okay.
Okay, and he's a hugger, and I love a good hug as well from a guy friend. I don't mind that, right?
Sure.
But he's so big that when he comes in for the hug, that if I don't react fast enough, he's got both arms over top, and I've got my arms around his waist hugging the tree, and that is
Yeah.
tree hugging. That's an awkward hug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I legitimately, when he comes walking towards me down the hall, I know he's about to hug me. I got to throw one arm up straight in the air real quick so that he can't get both arms over both of my arms. So now I've got one, and I can just kind of drape it over his shoulder kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Or like a towel? Like
Yeah, it's like a towel. It's
You got to be
exactly
careful
what it
not to punch him in the jaw.
is. I know, right? I know. So I don't know how you feel about guy hugs. Is there a code to that? Is there any kind of code or anything like that about, you know?
For me, it's like, how well do I know you?
Okay, all right.
Like somebody who I know very well and I'm very comfortable with.
Yeah,
Like
you're
I
in it to
hug.
win it.
Yeah. So like,
Okay.
you know, I've got a couple friends that I hug, but
Yeah.
it's not like an everyday event.
Gotcha.
Definitely isn't an everyday event.
I gotcha. I years ago, I heard a guy by the name of Charlie Tremendous Jones, and just really quickly, he was an insurance salesman, then became a motivational speaker, wrote some books about how life is tremendous and it's just a great place and
Okay.
things. But along the way, he found that many, many men hadn't been hugged since they were kids for some reason. So after these seminars I would see him at and stuff, he would stand in the hallway and he would say, anybody who wants a hug can come and see me. And there would be a line of guys in suits waiting in line to give him a hug because they hadn't had a hug in so long. Isn't that, it's the saddest thing I ever saw.
Yeah.
So I would say that when we're talking about hugging friends and stuff like that, we probably shouldn't take it for granted that maybe some of our friends that we do give a hug, maybe they really needed that day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ev, so you're 17.
Yep.
So you have friends. Your friends are all in that 16 to 18 range,
Yep.
right? So do you hug all the guys and girls that you're friends with, or is there something uncomfortable, or is everything good there?
I am 100% comfortable with hugging anyone.
Okay.
Um,
Except for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And-
because you like come at me
Yeah,
and
and
then you
Mom.
squeeze
It's not
me
gonna happen.
You're my
like
dad.
I'm like
Yeah.
a 4-year-old. So I'm
I
just like,
love it.
ugh,
Okay.
and then I don't have a chance to shoot my arm up.
I
And
understand. All right.
but I always hug my guy friends if they want me to.
Okay.
I go in for either the handshake or the hug, and then some people just go for the hug, and I have to go with it.
Yeah.
And then most girls, I guess I do feel a little awkward around some of them.
Yep.
But then others, I'm just kind of like, okay.
You're
But I
okay with
usually just hug the ones that I know the best.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. I tell you what, the whole idea of showing affection can be a tricky one, and it's one that we have to figure out amongst our family and amongst our friends.
Yeah.
But we're always going to have those weird, awkward moments, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you one last story to finish this off because we're running up on some time and we don't
Okay.
want to keep our listeners here too long. So I
Sure.
went to visit a company that I do business with, and there's 3 brothers that own the company, right? So I went up to the first one. It was out of town. I showed up, and I went walking through the door, and the first brother was there, and he was like, "Hey, Freedom!" I'm like, "Hey!" I walked over. We gave each other these big hugs, right? So we got done with our greeting, and then off to the left of him was the next brother. And he's like, "Freedom, what's going on? Hey, how you doing?" Big hugs again, right?
Yep.
So then off next to him is their third brother, the oldest brother and the shortest of all of them, right? Okay. And I looked over there, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey, Freedom, how are you?" And I put my arms up in a hug as I walked towards him, and his face just turned to stone, and he stood there with his arms at his side. Now, here I am in an office of professional guys.
Yeah.
I've just hugged 2 brothers.
Yep.
I'm walking across the room. My arms are already in the air in hug position, and this guy is standing there just looking at me.
Yeah, he bailed. He's like, I'm out.
I hugged him. I hugged a stone, man. His arms were at his side, and I'm like, good to see you. I felt so embarrassed. I think of that thing. I think of that all the time that I'm like, I can never go back there ever again. Like, I'm so embarrassed.
That's awesome.
I know. So,
Yeah.
but
I'm good, man. No. Because what do you do? Yeah, you're in.
You're already there.
Yeah,
you know?
you're all in.
Too funny, man. Well, that was a fantastic episode. Sean,
Yeah.
I thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you guys so much for having me. That's great.
And maybe we can have you back again sometime. If you ever have something that you want to talk about, that'd be awesome.
Cool.
You know, so, and we want to thank all of our listeners for joining us again on episode number 8. It's been fantastic. And of course, we'll have show notes online that you guys can see, and on our socials, you can come give us some feedback of what you heard today. Tell us what your opinion is. Do you hug your kids? And at what age did you stop, or do you keep on doing it? I mean, we'd love to know what other families are doing too.
Yeah,
it's very
definitely.
interesting.
Yeah,
you know, it really is. So, but please come and let us know what's going on. If you hit our website and go down the bottom, there's a GVP Club sign up on the bottom. What that'll do is give you an email every Friday with everything new that we did all week, in case you missed something. So all you got to do is throw your email in there and get that. And that's about it, right, Ev? We got anything else?
No.
Fantastic. So next episode, number 9, we will talk about the idea of, you know what? Let's talk about one of the overlooked man skills that all men need, but don't know it. How's that sound?
I don't know what it is, so it sounds good.
That's a heck of a
I'm
tease.
getting
That's a tease, isn't it, right?
I love it.
Very good.
Build
Thanks.
up and everything.
I know, right?
Right?
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Have a fantastic week, and we'll be with you soon.
Yep.
See ya. Remember, we're on iTunes and Stitcher, and as always, thanks for being awesome.